Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
Baka.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope everybody's had a great week. Now that we're seeing each other on a weekly basis again.
The best of the best.
2 weeks in a row. What are we to do with our lives?
I know, right? What games have we been playing this week? Okay, then.
Video games?
My life is my life has been simple this week. I have streamed all every afternoon. Finally, I did a whole week of streaming. Oh my god, I'm shocked. But I play Darksiders Genesis every day. I love it, and I need more of Darksiders lore. Like, that series is so good. War and Strife are an incredible match together. Their banter between each other is really good. You have one that is hardcore serious and one that is lighthearted but a straight up murderer. And they make a great combo.
I did like their banter. Their back and forth is hilarious.
I need all four of them. I need Darksiders 4, which I've already requested from THQ Nordic specifically. I need Darksiders 4, which will be Strife's game. And by 2030, I will have my Darksiders 5, which is a 4-player co-op with all 4 horsemen.
That's in his ideal world. That's what that would be.
Man, I can't see anything happening but that at this point. I mean, Darksiders 2 came out, and then the Darksiders series died, and THQ Nordic came to the rescue, made Darksiders 3, Genesis, which has done pretty well, and it's only $30, which is 100% worth it in my opinion. And so I can only see Darksiders 4 happening. At least give me one of every one of our horsemen. Mm-hmm. But it does some nice backstory. It shows some character development for Strife and kind of shows who he is and what War is. Also, I learned that War's arm is not real. It's a prosthetic, which is interesting because I had no idea. But in the comic, apparently he goes crazy and tries to kill his siblings, but Death laughs at him after he impales them. I mean, it's Death. He's like,
okay.
Sorry, brother. And then cuts his arm off. Use this as a reminder. It's like, oh, okay, Death. Remember, don't fuck with your older siblings. Gotcha. But I've enjoyed the shit out of it. I finished everything, collected everything. I have to do the arena now, which is there's 26 levels of the arena. So I'll be busy for this next week doing that, getting the last little bit of collectibles, and finishing out the game 100%. So other than that, I've just been playing WoW. Like, I'm back on the boat, ready to go.
Back on the boat.
I hate battlegrounds. They are fucking awful. AV is the worst thing on the planet. Just end my suffering. And I've got a long road to go.
You'll get there. You're way far ahead of me.
Yeah. By the time we get Darksiders 5, I'll be exalted.
There's about to be a kitty argument right behind me, so...
Yeah, I
can
see
tell.
that.
Watching this go down really slowly. Those
You
two are
gotta
not
move
friends.
out of the way. You got to move out of the way a little bit so that we can watch it a little. There we go.
There we go.
Look at that.
Watch one of them stare at the other one for like the next hour until there's a pounce.
Well, that's my whole week has been Darksiders and WoW every day. So
Mine was, I started Pillars of Eternity just because I wanted to give it a go. Really enjoying the plotline story, everything that they have in it. And of course, some of it, it's really weird. Like, you're having a conversation and you'll hear the person talk back to you, and sometimes they won't. So then I'm having to read on the screen what's going on. I'm like, this is an older game, so maybe they were like, voice actor, come in for this stuff, and they were like, oh, we need to add this, and so they just didn't add the voice or something later on or something. That's something I can figure. But it is fun.
My sister's playing Life is Strange, and like at the start of every other line, it misses a word, and I know it's there because I played the game on console, but it's on PC, so it sounds like they're cursing. But it's just that like one word is missing out of every couple of lines, and you're like, that's weird. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's so just not, instead of it being one word, it's missing like a whole sentence.
I just wanted to say that
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what happens.
It's exactly like that. It is so weird. It's like, what did they just say?
Well, she's got the subtitles on, so she's still got it.
Uh, so I went through Pillars of Eternity. I'm about 6-7 hours into the game. Still got a whole long way to go.
Yeah, Pillars of Eternity
especially with the amount of reading
game.
that's in the game. But I am enjoying it. I think it's fun. Friday night, we decided to, of course, as usual, we got Sea of Thieves. We're playing with the new content. One of the new things they did, they're doing, Umbra has these legendary missions, if you will. And they're not, it's not really missions. It's just you knowing where to go. You have to go find her journals that she's laid out, and it's based on the expansion packs that they've done is what each one of those journals is for. And then the other is if you remember, even when we first started the game for the very first time, there was people that had played the alpha and the beta, that they had these legendary skeletons, or they might have a barrel or something like that with their names on it, and you'd be able to find them in the world. Now you can go and examine those. One of which has always bothered me on what it was a if you go into the actual like you die, Ferry of Dam, over in the bottom right hand, you always had that it was the Roman numerals and stuff and the guy's name, and nobody really knew what it was about. Now you can examine it and see. Supposedly that guy was the first person to ever go to the Ferry of the Dam. He was the first person to ever die in the game, if you will. So you do get to find out certain things like that. But we did have fun. They've got some of the new gilded stuff. We did one for Order of the Souls. Well, while we were trying to find a journal, I was one of the first ones to get a journal at one of the islands that you actually have to shoot yourself up to get to the journal, and I'd already gotten it. So I just hopped on the rowboat and went to two of the other islands, was killing the captains that I needed to in order to be able to get the skulls. Well, a brig rolls in on No Pants and the rest of the crew, and I was like, hey, brig's coming in at you all, full force, get out. And so they start getting out. I hop on a mermaid, get onto the ship, immediately go up to the top of our ship, grab a hold of the a boom barrel, hop off the side, blow them up. A Meg hits them from behind, and then when I get back to the ship, I turn around. I was like, they're anchored. They anchored themselves. So let's see what's going on. I said, and old man happened to mention the fact that their rowboat was out in the middle of the water, and I said, that's weird. They must have dropped their rowboat for some reason. Well, their ship sunk. And so I swam in the water on my way there. That's when the ship sunk, and I got there, and I was like, they're on the rowboat. So they were removing all their stuff onto the rowboat. And so I got up to the rowboat. Dude standing on top of the rowboat. I hit him once with the sword. He jumps backwards, lands off of the rowboat. I hop onto the rowboat, grab the oars, and just start chugging. As quick as I could. None of them could get me. So I got all their shit that they put on top of the rowboat. My boat came and picked me up. We moved all the stuff where it needed to be. And they're like, well, do we need to go turn this in? Because there were the gifts, and the gifts you have to turn in at Reaper's Outpost, which is a new area that's being built. And I was like, no, we're not going to do that. And I was like, let's go ahead and finish our missions. We got to be, and we'll go back. Those guys had quit. So when I did that, because I think it was 10 gifts, which is a lot. That's a whole lot of gifts. So they'd probably been working on that shit all day long, and those fuckers picked a fight with the wrong people. Because you know me, I don't go out for fight, but if you fight me, you better fucking win. Because if you don't win, you are done. So it was so much fun though, because I was dying laughing, because it was just these guys. They were trying to hit us with a harpoon, latch on us that way, and I was like, oh, y'all amateurs,
Y'all
whatever.
dumb.
Y'all so dumb. Had no idea who they were messing with. Anyway, so that's what I did. I enjoyed that. And then we're supposed to be playing Stranded Deep tonight. We're actually going to start early, like 6 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be interesting to be on a raft again with No Pants. We're going to try to make that a regular Sunday thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I have been playing Mass Effect 2, which I'm still playing. I'm not done with it yet. It just makes me sad to know that that BioWare used to be so capable of doing things, and then with like Anthem and Andromeda, it's just, what happened, you guys? What happened?
EA got their hands in that cookie jar.
I guess it's because like I have a short memory and whatnot, so I'll forget how good things are until I'm playing them again, and then like having something to compare and contrast it to, you're like, I don't understand. You guys did so well with like making this in huge world where you're running into people or getting messages from people in Mass Effect 2 that were in Mass Effect 1. Like, you can run into some of the random people on the Citadel and whatnot that you helped out in the first one that you may not be able to interact with, but they're still having ongoing conversations and whatnot. And you just got this wonderful crew of amazing characters. And then you get to things like Anthem, and you're like, well, these people are all so flat and one-dimensional. What happened? I know you're capable.
There are a couple of characters that are okay. There are a couple of characters that are okay in Anthem.
Yeah, but then you throw away the things that made them okay, Owen.
That is true.
I mean,
I liked, what's her name? I can't remember. I'm bad with names. Everybody knows that. But the officer lady who was very
quirky.
Business, business, but doesn't understand proper human interaction. I liked how she was trying to be.
Yeah, but we just didn't get enough. Like, there was no real development of that. It was like, oh look, she's funny and quirky, and then she doesn't interact with you at all after you take her quest. I mean, it's like.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem. Is that they made a pretty decent character, but then they just kind of like tossed it out the window.
Yeah. And I did the thing where I finally went to the Citadel, so now every time I walk past the store, all I hear is, I'm Commander Shepard. This is my favorite store on the Citadel. I'm like, I'm so mad that I did that for discounts everywhere. That's been fun, though. I hope that Dragon Age 4, whenever it does finally arrive, BioWare was allowed to go and look at their older stuff and be like, okay, this is what made it special. Let's do that again. Come on. Don't be a fail. So that's what I've been doing. And WoW with you guys. Good seeing it. You guys are my life.
More and more WoW.
Yep.
Yeah. Baka, what about you?
World of Warcraft, and then the Ninja Turtle arcade style game that I downloaded a while back. My fight stick works with it.
Rocky's got a real addiction to that game now. Found himself a new love.
That's not even a little surprising.
I can unlock so many characters in it. Like you can unlock Vernon and everyone else that's useless.
Have you unlocked everybody yet, or you still got more characters to go?
No, I ran out of lives with a couple more levels to go, so I have to restart from the beginning again. But to be fair, I'm playing with all the different characters to see what additional characters I like and I think are good. April O'Neil is surprisingly okay. She uses her microphone
surprisingly
like a whip.
She's surprisingly okay.
I thought that she would probably suck like Vernon, who only does this weak little kick, and he can barely jump or anything. So trying to do levels with him is almost impossible. Muckman has ranged ability, but like when things get in closer to you, it's kind of hard to hit. So like it seems like that different characters have strengths and weaknesses. So
I gotcha.
All right.
You guys want to talk about some news? I mean, we've all been playing WoW, and there's some MMO news if you want to discuss that.
Oh,
do that.
I knew Chicken was just all about this story. Look at that face.
Oh my god! The first thing I'm gonna say is have the people who are working at Amazon on their MMO ever even played an MMO? Or are these people like, I don't know, from the dark recesses of humankind, where they've never seen or heard of an MMO in their life, and they're just like, cool, let's come up with all these crazy out of these worlds. It's like, most people have done this.
Is the name of the game actually Amazon MMO New World? Because it's all capitalized, and it's in the article like twice as that.
Yeah, it's called New World.
Okay, so the other two things are not actually okay. Good. I was like, wow.
I think they're just trying to state this is an Amazon MMO.
I was just confused.
I think maybe it's like saying Blizzard's MMO World of Warcraft type thing, right? Like it's made by Blizzard now at this point, but at one point
the World of Warcraft killer, because all the other ones were.
Well, New World is the name of the Amazon MMO, and no, Chicken, I don't think they've played. If they have played MMOs in the past, it's been on PvE servers, and they didn't realize how PvP was functional at all. Because that is the main concern, is that they have it set up in such a way where if you kill another player in open world combat, they drop all of their stuff in their inventory. So
I'll go over the specifics in this first. Previously, PvP was a full loot in open world with only outposts offering sanctuary. Okay, so your hubs are the only sanctuaries places that you have. This meant everyone was vulnerable to attack any time from players in the rest of the world. To attack, you flagged criminal intent, which is PvP flagged. If you died as a criminal, you'd lose all your gear and your inventory. So if you were flagged as a criminal and you died, you lose everything. If you died to a criminal, you'd lose all of your inventory, but keep your equipped gear with durability damage taken. So,
which is stupid.
There's like...
PvP shouldn't damage your durability, especially if you're like level 6 and they're like level 50 and you didn't have a chance.
Yeah, they'll just kill you over and over again.
Also, seriously, what if my inventory is full of quest items that I was about to go turn in? I just spent 2 hours questing, and some douchebag that's cap level and doesn't have anything better to do killed me, and I just lost all my quest progress? How does that make any damn sense?
Yeah, this comment kills me. This often led to solo or group griefing scenarios that created a toxic environment for many players.
Pikachu face.
If you would have told me how your PvP, I could have told you like years ago that's how this would have ended up.
Yeah, that is loot just thing obvious. For the PvP. There's a reason why they stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But back when there was only dial-up for internet.
Yeah, I think EverQuest, the first EverQuest had that same method in it. And that was the last time any game ever did that.
I feel like you have people in a room that played games back in the day that are creating this game, and they haven't played one in a long time, but they were like, you know what I really miss? And then they did it, and they go, oh, this is why these people that were smarter than me took this out of the fucking game. Oh, now I remember
I think
why.
EverQuest did it where like you had to run back to your body, and if you didn't reach it within like I think 15-20 minutes, then someone could loot it.
Oh, so at least they put a buffer in there.
Yeah, it gave you a time frame to do that. Diablo, the very first one though, like as soon as another player killed you, your stuff just went all over the ground and they could take it.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like that incentivizes people to immediately stop playing your game. Because, I mean, it means that if I'm working for an hour or two on something as a newer player, and a guy that doesn't have shit better to do because he's cap level comes and kills me, I lose any progress that I've made. And it just, like, resets me. That's stupid.
And for most MMOs, to solve this, instead of removing it entirely, people are given the option if they want to deal with the player PvP open world or they don't, which is PvE servers versus PvP servers. So everybody would think that would be what you would do to solve a problem like that. But no. We are unlikely to provide PvP-only servers, as it would divide our development resources and community.
No, it wouldn't. So, you just have auto-flag or not auto-flag.
You're telling me that your entire studio is working on a single server?
Yes. Definitely true for somebody like Amazon money.
Yeah, like, I mean, that just blows my mind that you're not even, like, working on a different... WoW has 4 types of servers. PvE, PvP, RP PvP, and RP. 4 different types of servers.
But here's the other thing to look at, too. You're dealing not only with Amazon money, but you're dealing with a company that just created Stadia. Yeah. So, it's like... or you're, creating as much as they possibly can to build up this, they're competing with different companies, different consoles. They're dealing with different stuff like that. So they're pushing forward to try to create this MMO because they're trying to compete with the EAs and the Activisions and stuff like that. But the only way you're going to compete with them is put the same fucking money in that these people are doing, and you have money. Yep. It's not you are worth more than Activision. You are worth more than EA. You are the second in the US when it comes to money generation. Apple's just barely ahead of you right now, and Google's, well, maybe they're third. Google's maybe just ahead of them as well. But I mean, Jesus, really?
I don't understand it dividing your resources. I mean, you're creating 2 servers with literally the same content on it. It's just that one is flagged for PvP and one is flagged for PvE.
Yes.
I don't understand how that's difficult for you, especially with Amazon money.
So let's go ahead and move on to their solution for this, which again just blows my mind because these guys are killing me. Okay. The new system, they have figured out a way to fix the griefing solution. The new system is called PvP War, a 50 versus 50 PvP battle by appointment, which is the words they keep using. By appointment.
I'd like to schedule my 3:30 war, please.
It really is.
What?
Okay, so
You what now?
This is the summary of it. It's a little long. I'll try to summarize it. Companies will declare war on territories they wish to take over. Draft a roster of 50 combatants, so you get a 50-man group, and agree on timing for the battle.
Okay,
so
everybody,
similar
we're gonna
to
fight at...
It's similar to having like the ARC servers where you can only fight between this point and this time and this time, maybe.
Maybe, but it says they get to pick the time, so they gotta get another group of 50. They're like, hey, so they gotta group up 100 people just to get a battleground going.
Dude, where do you do that at? Do you do that in game, or do you have to sign up on a website to okay the time frame? And
is it guild driven? Like, is it one of those where, I mean,
like, what if I'm just a free agent?
Idea.
I want to fight.
So the war will take place on a protected battlefield, keeping anyone who isn't confirmed to participate out. Okay, that's just simple.
That's BG's.
Yeah, that's just simple battlegrounds. This helps ensure fair fight without distraction. Again, it's just battlegrounds. You're making this so much more complicated than it has to be. During the battle, there are 2 sides. No shit. Attackers and defenders. Okay. Defenders will protect their claim flag that sits in the center of their fort. The fort is equipped with storage, crafting stations, and upgradable wall defenses. The attackers will earn points during the battle to upgrade and build sieged weapons and towers. The war ends if the attackers are able to break through the gates and claim the flag, or if time expires. It's just a simple
capture the flag,
attack and defend battleground. I mean, the way they make it seem like this is the end-all, be-all solution to all griefing errors. It's
congratulations,
no,
you've created Battleground, something that every other MMO has had forever. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Your technology is groundbreaking.
I have no idea. This is something that you should have been like, yeah, cool, we can have Battlegrounds in here. We can have open world PvP in here. We got a PvE. But they're just like, we're going to do the worst kind of PvP system. And then we're going to scrap that. And then we're going to come up with something even crazier. Battlegrounds. It's like, people have already been doing this for years, dude. They're like, oh, damn, really?
But they haven't gotten to the realization part yet, where they're like, oh, really? They're just still going, this is the best plan anybody could have. Y'all, seriously.
War by appointment, right?
Like, load up any MMO. Load up WoW. Load up Rift. Load up friggin' Guild Wars if you wanna. They all have Battlegrounds already.
And here's the thing. If I was creating an MMO and I had Amazon's money, I would literally have people playing all the most popular ones ever existed. Yes. And I would look and say, what was the most popular parts of each one of these?
Why are we surprised by this by now? Because Bungie didn't do this with Destiny when it first came out either. Like, anybody that's going to try to make an MMO style of anything doesn't ever bother to look at the history of previous MMOs, it seems. I don't know why we're still shocked.
It just amazes me on so many levels. Like, it's just, oh, look, this is really popular in WoW. This is really popular in EverQuest. This is really popular in whatever. Just keep going on through them. Let's see what we can figure out.
That's fine for ideas, but if you're going to do that, you're going to have a weird Frankenstein.
But you can at least look and see what works and what doesn't. And obviously, literally no one is doing a game setup in which PvP means that you drop your entire inventory. There's probably a reason for that.
In this. And you know what a simpler solution to that is? Is you create safer areas for people to level up at lower levels until they get more comfortable with the game in which they can get into it. Instead, you're just like, fuck it, open world. And from what I was reading is PvP was the spine of this game. Like when they were announcing it, PvP was the main like
They should
draw
have
of this
expected nothing
game.
but griefing then, because that's what
Exactly.
PvP-driven games invite, and that sucks. But it's what happens. It's just like human nature to be really, really shitty to everybody around you if you can.
Even with the games with service model, that's what happens a lot of times too. Which is, look at something like Sea of Thieves. You, for the longest time, you had people that were griefing. It's not as bad now because they introduced a PvP world by itself, so people could just go out and fight if it's what they wanted to do. But you still have people that are going to come in and try to grief people the entire time, which we had as well. If you remember, one of the things that they changed about that game is getting people were actually respawning too close to where the battle was taking place. So this time, and so they moved it further away from the fog of war, if you will, and moved it away to where it was less likely for the griefing to happen. So, but I don't understand at this day and age where any game developing company ever, if you've ever played any video game online in any way whatsoever, doesn't know what griefing is, and doesn't understand how it fucking works. Because there's a reason I don't play a lot of multiplayer anymore, because I don't like shitbags, and that's what those people are. They're shitbags.
Well, that's why when we started up WoW Classic, we rolled on PvE servers, and this is like the first time that our group has rolled on a PvE server for our main characters. So
normally I do PvP, but I knew what this was going to entail in this world, in WoW Classic. It was going to be pretty rough with a lot of shitheads, and playing Alliance is always rougher on PvP servers, so it was just like, all right, I'm going to save myself the trouble.
But see, you say that, and one of the things that No Pants is actually running on Horde, and I told him on it, and he's having the exact same problem, because, and I told him, I was like,
because that's my friend, but the other part of me says, fucking finally, the Horde get a taste of it.
Well, and that's what I had to explain to him, was the fact that they had, this for years, it was the other way around, because everything was outnumbered. And now people are fighting back because they're like, well, fuck you. You're going to do that to us. We're going to do it back,
Yeah, pretty much.
But
yeah, I had a little bit of a conversation with him about it during one of Chicken's streams this week, because he was upset. He had stopped playing because wherever he was at, there were just a group that was running in and killing people. And I was like, dude, you have to understand, that's been our entire life. There are zones that Alliance can't quest in retail because all Horde do is sit there and camp, and they're not even high-level zones. So I was like, that's what happens on PvP servers, and it just feels a little nice that it happens to the Horde now. Sorry, No Pants. You know I love you, but you rolled Horde, bro. So
that's what you
could have rolled Alliance with us.
Yeah. Still can if you want to. I mean, join our server.
We have ult, so we can level with you.
So, what else do we want to talk about? Aside from stupidity.
I don't know. I need to rest my brain after this one. Reading this article like 3 times is
There was a rumor at the end of this last year, this possibility that Left 4 Dead could be having a sequel come out, Left 4 Dead 3. And more rumors came out recently, and then basically Valve shut the whole thing down and says we're absolutely not working on Left 4 Dead anything.
Yeah.
So
Ollie came at me during one of my streams and was like, hey, look, they might be doing Left 4 Dead 3. And I was like, oh my god, that's so amazing. And not even 3 hours later, this article popped up, and I was like, Ollie, how dare you? How dare you?
Can't believe it. It's all your fault. The thing about it is, too, it goes back to the whole, are they working on 3s of anything?
No,
right?
They're not.
This just feeds into it even more. It's not happening.
And Chicken, we were having the discussion about whether or not it would be VR, and you were like, no, it'd be stupid. But that's where one of the freaking rumors came from, was a slide about Vive development stuff, which is the VR, and it was going to be Left 4 Dead 3 VR. So if they do make a third, I'm telling you, it's going to be VR.
I don't think it'll only be VR, though.
I would hope
just
not.
I think it'll have VR.
Of being able
I was
to
going to say,
kind of like Fallout.
I think it'll have, exactly, where they'll have a VR side of it, but they want to make sure that they can still get the people who are interested in Left 4 Dead to be able to play it.
Right.
Or they're just going to make it VR exclusive to push the sell of the VR headsets.
Got to make them more accessible. That's the main problem.
Yeah, that's why they haven't made or released a 3 of anything. They're waiting.
They're sitting on it until VR is perfect.
They're trying to do the same thing Epic Games is doing, is force things on the consumers. That's not how it works, people.
Right.
Okay? You give them incentives and make it accessible, and then they want to invest.
Well,
But,
as
yeah,
it stands
maybe
right
someday.
now, no more Left 4 Dead. Ollie, thanks for getting our hopes up. That's okay. At least we can still sometimes play Left 4 Dead 2 when the servers will let me play with you guys.
Yes.
Poop. You want to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn? I mean, we're talking about games that we largely play on PC, Left 4 Dead these days and everything. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn is going to come to PC this year. So
it's very interesting too because it's rumored it was coming on Steam and Epic, which is one of the things that we talked about was the fact that recently is a lot of these PlayStation 4 exclusives are starting to move over to Epic only. So I'm interested to see if this is going to end up being Epic only, despite the rumor that it's coming on Steam.
It probably will be.
Well, if
Yeah,
it's
it
Epic
probably
exclusive,
will
I
be.
will not be buying it. So
Nope.
That's why I haven't
If
bought
it does come to, I hope Death Stranding comes to
Steam.
Steam too. Like, please, Sony, just be smart about it, and I guarantee your sales will be better if you put it on both. Granted, I guarantee it's Epic going, that ain't happening. You're either on our platform alone or you're not at all.
Right.
Honestly, I would take not at all because you're still going to outsell what you would have sold on just Epic if you go to just Steam.
Yeah,
Hands
for
down.
sure. Steam is
Steam
like,
has
you
more
could be on
users.
both. Yeah. So I think that's just, Epic has a terrible market plan. Just in my opinion, everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, but Steam is literally the open platform. They're like, cool, you want to be on our store? That's fine. You want to be on Epic Store? That's fine. You want to be on the Windows Store? That's fine. Put your game wherever you want. It's all good. And Epic is like, no, it's mine. You must come to me.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to you for anything.
It's Gollum's precious, though.
Yeah. That's
It
exactly
amazes me
what
how
I
fast
see.
Ollie is, by the way. I always post all these articles in there, and he'd already put poor chicken after I posted the one about Left 4 Dead.
Damn it, Ollie. Oh, shit.
So good.
Man,
I would love to play. I would love to see what this game would look like with a really good PC, which you could really do with this game. But if it's on
See, and I
Epic,
didn't finish it on PlayStation, so if it comes to Steam, I'll buy it and finish it. If it comes to Epic,
It's
well,
so
and then you got
good.
Red Dead Redemption 2 that had all the problems with the Epic Store, and the Epic Store was part of the reason it was having
Yeah.
all the problems, right? So
Yep.
why in the world would I
well, Red
want to
Dead's
do
still
that?
having problems, and it's not just the Epic
It's
Store now.
Red Dead's on Steam, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. Rockstar's like, no, we ain't doing that shit. And
Rockstar's like,
I'm
where can we put our games that people will buy it in mass? I don't care what store it is, just put it there.
I'm straight up surprised that they were able to convince Epic to be like, you're going to put our game on your store, and we're going to put it wherever else we want, and if you try to
I
bitch
think
about
that
it,
you
I'm going to
just
slap
couldn't
the hell
say
out of
no
you.
to Red Dead. Red Dead's like, Rockstar's like, we're gonna put this on Steam and your store if you want it. If you don't want it, fuck you. And they're like,
Well,
you just can't say no to Red Dead, right?
you're not gonna say no to that, and especially when you look at every top 10 in the world, and GTA
still
5 is still
GTA.
fucking sitting on it. They're not gonna do anything with
Nope.
Rockstar.
Nope. That Rockstar's one of those companies where Epic can't do anything about it. And Rockstar's like, I don't care. We're going to put it over here, and it's going to do fine. If you want the opportunity to work with us, you can have it too. But we're not bending over backwards for you.
Maybe that's what I do next on my YouTube channel. Just do like a whole year's worth of nothing but Rockstar games and do GTA. This is the rest of the year on that.
Haven't you done GTA already, though?
I streamed it a million years ago. And the reason none of that ended up on YouTube is because half of the time I was streaming it, nobody told me that the audio was really jacked up. So it is gone forever.
Well, we do have a couple of delays that are coming up.
Oh, one of them I'm really
which-
sad about.
Yeah, me too. But I'm sad and not at the same time on that one because of the time of year that it went to, right?
Well, yes and no.
So,
I just go ahead. I'm just gonna be
Cyberpunk
sad over
2077 was supposed to originally come out in mid-April and is now moved to mid-September. They
so
said that
far away. I just want Cyberpunk.
Everybody does. But I think the good thing about it is the fact that they said that the game itself is basically complete, but they've got a lot of work to like a
They're
little
polishing.
polishing to do, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost a year's worth of polishing that they've got to do. If you think about
considering
it,
what size this game is supposed to be, like the open world, I understand that's gonna take a year to polish. Do it.
I do like the fact too. Recently, they said that the multiplayer on it isn't going to be out until 2021.
Yeah.
That's fine. Till at least 2021.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. If it doesn't work, don't put it out there and be like, we'll patch it someday. Don't be those developers.
That replayability, man. Like, it's like, oh, everybody's beat this game twice, and now the multiplayer comes out. Fuck
Everybody's
you, damn
beat
it.
this game. With as big as it is, they're all still playing it.
That's how you create a game that lasts for a long time. It's the Rockstar method, right?
Yeah.
Just figure out how to keep adding to the game, make it happen. But that one would be really cool. Like if they set the online stuff, if they could set it up to where somebody could RP it, how much fun would that shit be?
I mean, you probably will be able to do that.
Yep. So if you can get onto make a server and make that happen, that would be fantastic.
Yep.
There's already people working on that for Red Dead. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, sometimes
similar
it's hard
into
not to
GTA 5,
so.
so. Yep. Why wouldn't you want to be a cowboy? Just saying.
But that got pushed back, and so did Final Fantasy VII, the remake, which I'm not surprised about.
Only a couple of weeks, though.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers also got pushed back from May to September. Square Enix's.
I'm not sure how many people are actually looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Square Enix delayed its Marvel Avengers game from May to September. It's at the bottom of that article too. The Cyberpunk.
I'm cool with that. Like I think I want to.
Nobody wants to fight with Animal Crossing. I'm telling you, man. that game is going to demolish anything that releases in that month. I mean, there was a nice
way too many people wanting it.
Yeah, there was a nice little meme where it shows the Animal Crossing animal walking from each door to door with the Grim Reaper scythe, keep knocking back each of the games in May. It's like, who's next? And it's shit, what was the last one? Oh, it's Doom. It's coming for Doom next. It's gonna delay it. Nobody wants to deal with it.
It's already been delayed once.
Yeah. Now it's in Animal Crossing's month. You better watch out.
You know what's interesting though with both Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy just went up a month or so, but the stuff that's being moved to September, it's going to be so close to the launch of the new game to the new consoles. I find that interesting because I think 2077 you're looking at September, and normally November is the month for new consoles. So I
just buy it on PC.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if they're looking for most of their sales to be PC related anyway, so that wouldn't really change anything for them.
That's a possibility. Yeah, I could see that. I'm interested to see though what actually ends up happening with that, because if you're doing, it's backwards compatible on both of the new consoles anyway.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
So I guess they really don't care that much about that, and just. It's like, okay, well, it's not really going to matter anyway, especially after Xbox came out and said that, 2 years afterwards is going to be a certain thing. So,
True.
Yep. We got one last thing.
Yeah, no, you saved like the positive note for last, which is
refreshing. We did our best.
Yeah.
One of the things that's always been frustrating about online gaming is the possibility of just toxic behavior in general, but one of the things too is swatting, which is of course when somebody calls in and tries to call the police in, and people have died from it, people have gotten arrested from it over $20, whatever. But some positive news came out. A UK teen was having a seizure while playing online games with his friend that happened to live in the US in Texas. And that kid was able to recognize that his friend was having a seizure and figured out how to contact the local authorities and save this kid's life, while his parents were downstairs watching television, and the police knock on their door basically. And it's like, what? So positive news. I think it's really awesome that this 17-year-old kid saved this 20-year-old kid. So
that's some serious bonding right there. Those two are definitely going to be friends forever.
the 17-year-old that got
the way around. Sorry,
Yeah.
20-year-old kid.
Yeah. The 20-year-old saved the
17-year-old.
17-year-old. Well, regardless, that's awesome that the person went through everything they could to find out how to save this one.
I mean,
Like,
just couldn't
hey,
just
I don't
tell
know
people
your
now.
parents' phone number or your house number, which I'm surprised anybody has a house number these days anyway. They're just like, call the emergency numbers and tell them where they live. Go help them.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that they knew where they lived, too, because that's generally stuff that you don't share with your random online gaming buddies until,
Yeah, but they might be
your
closer
close
than that.
online gaming buddies.
Yeah.
But
I'm
they might
gonna
have
say
sent them
probably
something or
closer. They
something.
could have been playing since they were really young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that's nice.
That's-
I mean,
that's-
geez,
that's
something
awesome.
good happened. Yay.
Hell yeah. It's nice. The top comment. It's nice to see that online gaming can on occasion result in good things happening. Makes a nice change to the swatting and toxic community articles we're more used to reading.
Yes.
Yes. Real sad. But at least there was something good that happened.
Yeah.
yes. Sure. Pretty awesome.
We got
Anything else?
No, it's the time of year where there's really not much going on. We're just waiting for releases of games, and everybody's just kind of quiet.
Gaming
This
season
might be one
is
of the
usually,
shortest
like,
ones we've done in a long
spring.
Yeah, I mean, 40 something minutes. It's
Hey,
a
I'm
pretty
fine
short
with that.
one.
One of us has to edit it, and I'm okay with that. So,
Well, as always, we do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week in Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDBOaktree. You can check out Grif.
at Grif Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
I'd eat chicken through and through.
Check out Baka.
Baka pickle.
Also, make sure you go to Grif's YouTube channel where, Red Dead's there, finished up, but, she's still working through the epilogue
Yeah, I was
stuff.
gonna say, we're in the epilogue. It's not completely finished yet.
Almost there.
Videos have been a little sporadic, mostly because I forgot a lot. I'm sorry. Got to get back into the habit.
The groove.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. Chicken, what you got this week?
Darksiders.
Darksiders.
I
He's
got a lot
collecting
more stuff to do.
everything. Like,
You should
talk
have seen
about
my
your
streams. I was going
completionist.
through everything, collecting everything. I have this way about me when I get into games like this. I just like to collect everything. I like to finish everything. Feel completely fulfilled when I put it down. I don't go back to games a lot, so I make sure that I get every bit of experience as I can out of all the games that I play. Every drop.
That's Baka's house.
Okay. I was
That's
like,
the dog scratching her collars jingling.
okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDBOaktree. This week, I've got Stranded Deep. Going to go back to Pillars of Eternity. And then Friday night, of course, we'll do some more Sea of Thieves. Check out some more of the stuff that Umbra's got going for us. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.